Skywalker is the third and final installment of the sequel trilogy, encapsulating the 5, nearly 6-long year of Rey and Kylo Ren's journey in one movie, carrying a lot of weight from the exceptional Force Awakens and, in my opinion, Last Jedi movie. However, today we will be carrying and delving into the ancient Sith holocrons and relics to discover a more ethereal and unused aspect of the dark side. In The Rise of Skywalker, we shall be exploring the Sith Citadel, located on Exegol, with the points of interest being, but not limited to, the Sith Citadel throne room, also known as the Throne of the Sith, the Sith Citadel laboratory, where Snoke was engineered and genetically modified to be the host body of Darth Sidious, and also Darth Sidious' laboratory, an ancient Dark Lord from the Old Republic. It was affiliated with the Sith Eternal and was planted on the dry desert planet of Exegol, of which I have a video coming out later in my channel's lifetime. It was destroyed in the year 35 ABY, 35 years after the event of the Battle of Yavin. The Sith Citadel, also known as the Citadel, was an ancient fortress of dark side imbued power, located on the elusive Sith world of Exegol. It was the headquarters of the Sith Eternal fleet and the Sith Eternal cultists following the demise of the last two Sith Lords at the Battle of Endor and the skirmish of the second Death Star and its destruction, and contained the Throne of the Sith, which resurrected the Dark Lord of the Sith and one of the most powerful Sith Lords of all time in Legends continuity, Darth Sidious, intended to serve as the seat of his new empire and the head of his new rule. The Citadel was both under and above ground, with the latter being a large, upside-down, truncated pyramid structure made of and crafted of black stone. The structure floated above Exegol's surface, possibly with use of telekinesis, with the platform being used to lower the dark side individuals or a variety of beings into the underground portion of the Citadel, such as Kylo Ren or Rey not Skywalker. The Sith Citadel contained a large hall filled with ancient Sith statues depicting ancient Dark Lords, and in a comic that I have read before in the past, it even depicted that Darth Nihilus and Darth Revan and many other Sith Lords were meant to be included in a stone tapestry carved into the wall. It included the tapestries in the canonical movie Rise of Skywalker of Lokfet, Mindran, Sisiri, Felkor, and Naga Sadow, the ancient Sith sorcerer who had instigated the conflict known as the Great Hyperspace War. The Sith stronghold also featured an amphitheater that housed the Throne of the Sith, and at least one other room used for medical purposes, such as genetic experimentation and life support. This is most likely where Supreme Leader Snoke, the governor over the First Order until his demise at the hands of Kylo Ren, was constructed and implanted as the puppet of Darth Sidious. The Sith Citadel on Exegol was one of the earliest bastions of the Sith Order constructed during the many millennia long reign of darkness. The scalpel of creation. I used it to make all of these things. I can use it to make anything. At some point during the reign of the Galactic Empire, after the destruction of the Galactic Republic, Darth Sidious had two Sith Wayfinders crafted and forged with darkside alchemy to guide his way to the Citadel on Exegol, hoping that all who sought out would only achieve the artifact if they were worthy. One was made for himself and stored within his throne room within the second Death Star throne, while the other was given to his apprentice, Darth Vader, who stored the Cosmic Navigator within his castle on Mustafar, the same castle we see Kylo Ren ravaging during the opening minutes of The Rise of Skywalker. After Sidious's rise to power and his vanishing from public view, he prepared the throne in the Citadel to become his permanent and ultimate seat of darkside power, cementing his rule as an eternal one after becoming an immortal god. During this time, the Sith Eternal cultists began experimenting with genetic augmentation and cloning technology in an effort to extend and ideally indefinitely sustain Sidious's own life, unexpectedly creating Snoke, a Strandcast male clone. During the First Order Resistance War, sometime following the Battle of Endor, Sith cultists chose the Citadel to become their new and improved darkside fortress and bastion, as they believed Moraband, once the great fortress of the Sith and Sith holy world of Korriban, was too likely to be discovered. At some point, Sidious was resurrected by these cultists and came to reside at the Citadel, where he guided the actions of Supreme Leader Snoke, whom Sidious himself had created sometime before 12 BBY, meaning that Snoke was well over a century old at the time of his death, both to test Kylo Ren's worthiness to inherit the mantle of a Dark Lord of the Sith like his grandfather Darth Vader before him, and to rule over the First Order, while Sidious secretly schemed and plotted in the shadows of the eventual return of the Sith. Meanwhile, Jedi Master Luke Skywalker believed the concept of the Sith was not over, despite Vader's conversion to Anakin Skywalker and the death of Emperor Sheev Palpatine above Endor on the second Death Star. He and Lando Calrissian, and one of the pivotal members of the Rebel Alliance, set out to locate the Emperor's Wayfinders in the hopes of locating the Citadel on Exegol, where Luke believed he could end the conflict with the Sith once and for all and face Darth Sidious. Luke's hunt inevitably and eventually went cold on Pasaana, and he ultimately went into exile on Ahch-To, following the fall of his nephew Ben Solo under the corruption of the dark side of the Force, instigated by Supreme Leader Snoke. During the events of 35 ABY, the newly christened Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, christened with the name Supreme Leader after killing Snoke in the events of The Last Jedi, the unintended Strand-cast male clone that was inherited and meant to inherit the mantle of Dark Lord of the Sith and Darkside affiliated Master for Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren arrived at the Citadel with the intent of eliminating the resurgent Emperor, whom Ren believed to be a threat to his newly obtained power as Supreme Leader upon Snoke's supposed death. However, Sidious easily convinced Ren, using his raw power in the art of manipulation, to instead renew his resolve in the hunt for the Jedi apprentice of Leia Skywalker, and previously Luke Skywalker in Rey, revealed to be the granddaughter of Emperor Palpatine himself, further implementing herself as one of the most powerful and Force-sensitive beings to ever grace the Star Wars galaxy. In exchange for the killing of Rey, Sidious promised Ren authority over the Final Order, the most extreme and massive fleet the galaxy had ever known in Star Wars canon. A massive fleet consisting of Zyston-class Star Destroyers, the cannon located on their underbelly, with a destructive and nigh unparalleled capacity to force the entire galaxy into eternal submission by using the Force and the dark side in using it to unleash a beam of energy similar to the Death Star in a consecutive cannon blast that would blow apart planets from the inside out. However, Ren was turned from this persuasive influence and seduction of the dark side of the Force through the combined efforts of Rey and his dire mother, Leia Organa, who needed her son to see the Force in the light side view again, and the Force vision of his father, Han Solo, and eventually Kylo Ren became the Jedi Knight and apprentice Ben Solo once again. After utilizing Ren's Wayfinder and his Sith Speeder, Rey arrived at the Citadel on Exegol and confronted Darth Sidious. However, Sidious told Rey that he had never intended her death at Kylo Ren's hands, but to have her kill him, so his spirit can utilize the ability of essence transfer and pass on into her, and she can become Empress, with him influencing her actions secretly from the sidelines as a mere shadow skirting through her mind, eventually obtaining pure and utter control. If she refused, her friends would all be killed, as the battle is intended to be a trap so the resistance can be wiped out by the entirety of the Sith Eternal Forces once and for all, and cement Darth Sidious's eternal rule as an immortal God King fueled on the dyad implemented by Rey and Darth Sidious. And Kylo Ren. As a redeemed Ben Solo arrived, she refused Sidious's offer to become a Sith, and then, joined by Ben, attempted to kill the Dark Lord once and for all, cementing peace within the galaxy's roots. However, Sidious used their dyad in the Force, manipulating it as Snoke had done all those years ago to create it, to restore his mortal body to its fullest capacity. From the throne of the Sith, Sidious unleashed a storm of devastating power that was the most vicious and powerful Force lightning in all of Legends and canon continuity. that nearly utterly destroyed the Resistance forces and entirely commissioned the newly christened Resistance fleet, led by Rolando Calrissian, Poe Dameron, and Finn, which is said to be made up of more than 1,000, or possibly even exceeding this, starfighters, proving Sidious's mastery over Force lightning, eclipsed that of Vitiate, Nihilus, and any other Sith Lord to ever live. However, empowered by the voices of all of the Jedi who came before her, an augmented Rey stood and used two lightsabers, one being the Skywalker lightsaber and the lightsaber of Leia Organa during her training under her brother Luke, and defeated Sidious by redeflecting his planet-killing lightning back at him. The resulting shockwave absolutely decimated the Sith Citadel, its cultists, and left Rey alone, where she effectively died, strewn and killed by the strength of will that it took to destroy Darth Sidious, and his unlimited power was finally ended. The explosion also ended the conflict between the Sith and the Jedi once and for all, ending the many millennia long of tyranny that had engrossed the galaxy. Rey was then revived by Ben Solo, who used Force healing in conjunction with his dyad to Rey to trade his life for hers, as she had done to him on Kefbir during their fight in the Death Star ruins. Solo then died in the ruined Citadel and became one with the Force, becoming a Force ghost. Rey flew away from the ruins in Luke Skywalker's own X-Wing, just as most of the Sith fleet fell to the ground in ruins. Well, Acolytes, that was the full story of the Sith Eternal cultists and Citadel located on Exegol. Do you want more videos covering the Sith Eternal cult and describing the ancient culture and religion? That'll be all, Acolytes, and I'll see you in a galaxy far, far away. May the Force be with you.